Sorry, brain fart. Now I run a rabbit trail here. I'm 10 years. This is 10 years past. So I'm trying to, but I want to be accurate with the timeline. So okay, all right. Let's get to. So I yeah, I had let's take yeah. So this was in May. Yeah, it was right after he moved to Texas, and we was talking, and I had accepted my call to preach, and um I was dealing with like I said, this animosity that I had in my heart, and a hard heart towards this situation. And the person, the situation, everything. I had a hard heart there, and I was talking to Wayne about it, and I was like, I don't know how to get by. How can I deal with this? I was, because it was affecting me spiritually. And if you're holding a grudge and you're listening to this, you're totally understanding um, um, where I'm coming from. That if you hold a grudge, that it's affecting you spiritually. If you're doing something, if the animosity, if you're holding animosity towards somebody or something, some situation, or if you feel like you've been wronged and offended, um, you got your guard up, and your heart's not in the position of love, and loving other people, but if you do that in one place, and then it carries on, it goes on into the other, and it was affecting me. And so I was talking to Dwayne. I was like, brother, Dwayne, I can't get past this. I just don't know. I don't know how to handle this situation, you know. And he said, well, son, you just got to forgive that person. And I said, now hold up now. How am I supposed to forgive for what was done to me? You know, I'll say, I said, I know I wasn't perfect, but man, I was doing this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and yet, I, that person spit right in my face. And he laughed, and he said, Jesus forgive you, didn't he? And oh my gosh, the conviction was just all over me. See, we get wrapped up in our own feelings and because of what things people do to us, and we think that God should punish that person because what they done to us, and this, that, and we get in our own feelings, and we don't go back to the Word, and what the Word says is we must forgive, and that's what Jesus did. I'll tell you, there is no way, no matter what the wrong that person did to me, and I didn't wrong that person. I'm not saying I was perfect, but the wrong that person done to me, guess what? It was not even compared to all the wrong that I'd done against the Father. All the wrong I did against my Savior. All the wrong I done against my Holy Spirit. There's no comparison. Not even. It don't even make it on the same scale. I had been so bad to my God, and He still forgave me. So I'm like, and what is Christian? To be Christ-like. So to be like Christ, hey, I had to learn to forgive like Christ. So I tell you what, I called this person and I said, hey, I need to talk to you. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't say a word, and you just let me say what I need to say, and when I'm done, if you want to say something, you can. And I said, I want you to know that first of all, I ask you to forgive me of all the wrong that I done to you. And second, I want you to know that I have forgiven you for all the wrong that you done to me. And I hope you have a wonderful life. But I forgive you. And I hope you can forgive me. And that person was dead silent on the other end of the line. Could not, never heard a word. So go ahead. It was good talking to you. Have a good day. And hung the phone up. What a relief that was. So maybe you're here today and you listen to this, or whenever you listen to this, and you're in a situation where you've been saved and but you're not really, you're at a stuck spot in your spiritual walk that you're not advancing because you're holding some animosity, a grudge, something against somebody, and you're struggling on forgiving that person. Pardon me. So you're struggling on forgiving that person. I promise you, if you will forgive that person, it's like being angry at somebody. If you get mad at somebody over a situation and you get angry and that person don't get angry, guess who it affects? You. So if somebody done something to you and it offends you and you're the one holding the grudge, you're the one not giving the forgiveness, and that person's living their life and living on, guess who it's affecting? You. So if you will make the decision to say, all right, Lord, it be your will and by your guidance, lead me through this situation and show me how to forgive this person. Well, it's easy because how to forgive, because he says he forgives you. Hey, I'm telling you, it will change your life, folks. You got to seek forgiveness from that person. Well, not from that person, but from the Lord. But you've got to forgive anybody, and you say, well, you don't understand what I've been through and this, that, and the other. Yes, I do understand that. I may not understand your situation, but I truly understand that feeling because I was sitting in that spot with that feeling, and hey, I had to unharden my heart and forgive. And you know what? Other than, since I forgive that person, other than, thinking about a forgiveness situation, I don't even, that part of my life is in the past. That's a chapter in the book that's over, and we're way moved on past it. And, hey, that's just, folks, that I think that's spiritually maturing, and God growing me and saying, hey, you need to pardon me, but you need to move on, and that's what I done, and but and that's one reason that I'm doing, because I know not everybody has a Dwayne Waldrop in their life. I'm blessed. I do. We're 1,000 miles apart at this very moment. He's in Texas and I'm in Kentucky. But I promise you that if I needed him, all I got to do is call, and I know that. And him the same. So, with that being said, that's why I'm doing this, because I hope that you can know that I'm telling you, like he told me, hey son, daughter, it's Jesus forgive you so you can forgive them. And then another thing, as far as a Christian goes, and here, us not forgiving other people, to me, as Christians, I think that's probably 30 or 40% of what we struggle with in forgiveness as Christians. Now, I think almost everybody that's lost struggles with truly knowing that God will forgive them for everything they've done. Us, it's forgiving other people. And then the other 60-70% of Christians struggle with forgiveness of themselves. They struggle and to forgive themselves of what they've done. And sometimes it's easier to forgive other people than it is yourself. Because you're like, you know, you know what you do, you know your shortcomings, you know where you fail, and you hold it against yourself. And we were talking about it last night, uh, in the group meeting, and we had a lady sharing, she had lost a child, an adult child, and to that child's um, uh, spot, the child's she wasn't a child, she was an adult, and but she had made some poor life decisions. The devil had just overcome her, and it consumed her and caused her to lose her life. And she said she battles every day with what I could have done different. I should have been able to do something different. I should have done more. She can't forgive herself because her. That's That's one of the bosses of this house. That's the Australian Shepherd in here. He's come check that out. So if you hear something in the background, but that's where a lot of Christians are at today, is a struggle with forgiveness of themselves, because they feel like the wrong that they done something wrong and caused a situation that's really affected their life, and they can't forgive themselves of that. But I tell you, like I told that person last night, we can't make other people's choices. We can't control situations. We don't even. The only thing we can truly control is our own. And there's times where we don't even control our own self, because we'll do things that are just like we wasn't in control. But we for sure cannot control anybody else. Hey, let me tell you something. You think you're a person of authority? That dog you just heard walking here. If you was over here at my house right now, I tell you, try to order him around and see how much control you got. And then I would order him around and show you how much control that I truly have of him. But the thing about it is he's mine, but so he will listen to me. But the analogy is we're not a person of authority, because you try to order somebody else's dog around. Hey, it ain't gonna happen. The thing about it is we can't even control our kids when they're kids. We can direct them, we can discipline them. From when we can't control what they've done, we correct them, but yet they still make their own decisions, just like us with Christ. God does not try to control and manipulate us. He wants, he wants us he don't try to manipulate us, but he does want us to give him control. But we have to be willing to give him control. We have to submit. He's not going to force his control over us, is what I want to say. And so we can't, when I grew up, when I was living in my dad's house, my mom and dad's house, it was their rules. My house, my rules, what I heard my whole life. And I respected that. And there was times that I didn't follow the rules, and I paid the consequences for it. But yet, once I got up and got to make my own decisions, there was things that that I'm like, hey, I'm an adult now. You can't tell me what to do. And so I think that, and then I suffered the consequences again, yet because I did not listen. So, but it wasn't because they didn't try. It wasn't their failure. It was mine, because it was a poor decision I made. So if you're sitting here today with struggling to not forgive yourself because something you feel like you could have done better that would have affected a situation, you can't control everything. I'm A-type personality. Believe me, anybody that knows me likes to know that I like to be in charge of things. And I'm a natural born leader. Some people are, some people ain't. But I am. That's just who I am. That's how God created me. But doing that, it causes, there's so much a fine line of being a leader and being a control freak. And I have to not be a control freak. I have to be a leader, because I can't control everything. And if I try to control everything and every situation and every outcome of it, guess what? I'll drive myself crazy, because I'll be like, I feel like a total failure. And then I'll struggle. I can speak from this, because there's time. Okay, so